Well, today's been a good day. Decided to start work on the old 95 corn special to get her ready for harvest. And had some fun right off the bat. I guess somebody decided they needed some gas, and to make it look like none had been taken, they dumped water in it. Well, after 3 jugs of nothing but water, I finally got the gas. So after all that, had the battery hooked up just to be on the safe side, let her charge for a while off the truck. I fired her up. She fired right off the bat, no problem. Now my old combine here, I guess you could say I've heavily modified it. One thing is the rotary screen. That's off 915 International, I believe, 815 or 915, and it made a world of difference on this old machine. She runs a lot cooler now. The air cleaner assembly I had to move, so it got remounted. My cousin made a piece to go on the bottom, and I found a screen and put a pre-cleaner on it, so to speak, below that. She's been a good machine for me. It has the old style header control, you might say. It has the spring assist underneath. It needs to be tightened up, but that, plus with working with the floating cutter bar, gives you basically an automatic header control. When you get it balanced out, this head will go up and down the field, and all you got to do is set it down and go. It kind of does its own thing after that. The tires came off a junk combine that, unfortunately, at the junkyard they like to cut the centers out of the wheel, so I cut these centers out of an old set of John Deere rims and welded them back in, so they're good to go. 23-126 10 plies. The head, the 15-foot floating cutter bar, hume reel, and I've made these little jewels here that really help. You don't get the wrap on the end of the reel. They're real simple to make, and they are worth making a set to put on a machine. They just make that big of a difference. It comes over, tall stuff comes over, hits and rubs the rail, shoves it in. Time it gets to here, it doesn't have enough time to flip back against the reel to stand up. It grabs it and the reel pulls it down. So that's a big help. The narrow dividers with the loop on the end, small loop, work great. I was worried about the sickle bar this year maybe not being up to snuff, but I was able to cut grass with it, this stuff here, so I don't think it's going to be too bad. Did a little bit of a hillbilly shield here on the side to keep it from wrapping. It works. Old girl has done a lot of work for me, and she's still a good solid machine, and she'll cut with the best of them. A few years ago I did have this one alongside of a 9610 or a 20, I forget. It belongs to my cousin, and she was keeping right up with it. Got the factory chopper on it. I do have a Heston chopper that'll go right on it, and the mounts. Of course, I have another old 95 that I run for years and years and years until it just finally give up the ghost. And I bought this one about 4 or 5 miles from here. 95 corn special. And like I say, I've done some modifications outside and inside. She's not perfect, but when you're a small acreage farmer, you do what you got to do to get by. And if there's money for equipment, that's great. If there's not, then you get creative. I do have an Alice Chalmers 820 corn head for Gleaner G that I modified the throat, modified the head a little bit, and made an adapter to go on this quick attach throat to use that AC head on here. It's took me a couple of months to figure out how to do everything, but I got her mounted. So, and it handles it great. The only thing I had to do was add another set of lift cylinders underneath, and she picks it up just fine. But at any rate, just kind of a little story about this old 95, and it's time to get her ready to start cutting beans, because it ain't gonna be too long and it'll be time to cut these 3-foot tall son of a guns. But we'll see what happens. We got some good time to go. I mean, the pods are still filling, so we got time. But I wanted to get on this thing. So at any rate, if you like the old girl, have any questions about her, feel free to ask. If you like, please comment, rate, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time.